So, buongiorno a tutti, right? Racine can teach us some Italian today.
Your volume's really low, love.
Okay.
Yeah, unless your mouth is really close, it's very low.
I can hear her.
I'm looking for volume.
Up on top on your computer. Up
Oh.
on the thing.
Okay.
It's not on the Zoom, it's on your actual computer.
Oh,
It's that volume.
okay. It's going, I think.
I can hear you though. Can you not hear her? It's kind of.
Yeah, it's only when she leans back it gets real soft. No biggie.
Okay.
That's okay. Good morning. I know Arizona is 8 a.m. and we are 10 a.m. and Centauri is 5 hours ahead, so he's way ahead.
I've been up since 5.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of people are up with the fire monkey celebration energy this morning.
I heard that one coming on the airwaves.
I'm sorry. I was expecting to come on the phone, but there was there's no phone code given.
Okay.
So
we made you appear in person.
You did.
Yes, I reposted it just now, but and invited a couple of other people because it's Monday and it's 10 a.m. It's all right. We're here. We hold space for everyone who loves Tuscany and wants to celebrate the work that has started there, the play that we started there back in 2014 and even before that. I was just telling Catherine that I found this beautiful picture of the village of Fiesole. I think I'm saying it right, Racine. You may have to correct me. Is it Fiesole or Fiesole?
Fiesole.
Fiesole. Okay. Oh, so how beautiful. It's very melodical when I say it, like a song, and it really touched me. I don't know, there's something sparked me, and I know that Catherine was speaking of us going to one of the amphitheaters and doing some wonderful energy work there during the trip for Tuscany, and I didn't realize that's what it was. So something sparked in me. I sent the picture to her, and of course she wrote back and she's telling me now, yes, that's where we're going, and I just love the play of that. And then I find out you have lived around that area as well. Is that true?
Yes, I lived in Florence itself, Firenze. You have to. And then the last 2 years I lived in Settignano, which is kind of parallel to Fiesole, to the right of it, above the city. And it was Settignano was a place where a lot of the artists went during the Impressionistic period. When they came to Florence, they would go up to Settignano and see the view of the whole city. It's beautiful.
Wow.
You can see that as well. Well, a little bit, but not quite the panorama from Fiesole of the whole city. But then you have the ruins, and you have the church is beautiful. I've in Fiesole, I've been to musical events there. There's actually an international music school there in Fiesole, so they receive a lot of very interesting folks there. Young people. It's like a universe. It's kind of like Juilliard.
Wow.
I don't know.
Catherine.
What again, Krista?
Oh, I was just going to say, my son is a musician. I should tell him about that. He's looking for an amazing school.
Wow.
I don't know if it's, I'm sure it's not as extensive as Juilliard. I was just but it's people love it. They come from all over. So, yeah, you might just Google that and see what it is now, because I haven't lived in Italy since, when did I move to France? 2007.
Okay.
Late 2007, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Thank you for that. Mm-hmm. So do we want to do a quick alignment?
Yes, we can.
Yes. And just breathe in and align ourselves with one another and with the beauty and peace and grace of Tuscany and all of these wonders that our energies are attracting and beholding. And just align our hearts with the intention of love and allowing those who are intended for this trip to gather and come into this new alignment, this star-like, beautiful, peaceful energy. I keep seeing a star, like almost like a trinity or star. Catherine has that beautiful sun shining on her head again, just like the last time. Just as I spoke, the sun went onto your face. That's what we're talking about.
Oh, that's
If you
funny.
can't see it with your inner mind, just look at Catherine, and that's what we're seeing right now. Catherine,
I love it.
demonstrating, and it's purple.
It's really pretty. I wish I could take a photograph of that.
Wow.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, it
Anything
says if
else?
you put me up in the main, how do I get up to the main thing on me? Do I just click it? No. I was going to
Click on
say
you.
Photoshop. I'll take a snapshot
Yes.
Yeah.
because I see Krista talking right now
Oh, okay.
up on
I
top.
see you talking.
Will somebody take
I think everyone, we're all part of one big hologram of light, so everyone sees one piece of themselves. Because I see all of you, all
Yeah, I
of
see
you.
well, this, it's interesting because about technology and then about Tuscany is that in coming to be in the sacred energy of Tuscany, to be in the new Renaissance, to be in the unfolding of who we are, there is an energy that's so soft and so complete and so guaranteed, really, to each individual. And then the mind comes in with all these questions. So my hope was that people somehow, either if it's a conference call instead of a Zoom call, begin to ask the questions that come to their mind that require answering for themselves. And I think in even sharing here where people can listen back to it, I think what I have found in the first year that I went, and maybe I should lower my curtain or...
No, we love it.
No, you can have
Keep it.
I think that there is a very powerful and very connected place in each of us that Tuscany is calling, and that the individuals coming really are being asked to come in physicality to be whole, to receive everything, to be to really receive what's been lined up because they have been putting out to the universe or to God or to their higher selves, any way that they source that, for answers and for energy to get them to be adaptable and compatible and inspired and actual in action with the current lifestyle that we're living. And to be aligned with the power that says, what is it you choose to create? Here's the energy to do so. And I see that. And it was interesting, it says that you felt Fazile, because when we align to all these things, the universe then aligns to deliver once we arrive there in physicality. And that's half the sense of adventure and fun, is that if you can be an explorer, an adventurer, and see the fun of coming into someplace new and let the mind rest in the magic of the delivery, there is something so fulfilling about being able to be there and to climb those steps and go upstairs to the meditation room and come down for breakfast and be out in the fields and hear the bell that says come to lunch, or to be on one of our outings like going to Assisi. I mean, it's just amazing, the artistry that's in every single town we've thought about going to this year, and that the gifts are there according to the curiosity, according to the call. And I think what's interesting is that I posted something today about the victory. If I am your victory in light, and if I am your victory in wholeness, I'm your victory in abundance, that is what all of us as the leadership are being for everyone. And will you find the call or find the energy to be your own victory? And each one of us is being asked that this year, or any year really. And I kind of laugh that today's the fire monkey. It's really, there's qualities around the Chinese New Year that's also very supportive. So I just say that because the fun I sense and the joy I remember of the taste treats, the visuals, the walking up the hills, the old stonework, the ancient ones coming, the new ones, the whole embrace of culture that is in Italy is something that I get excited about. It's my own inner travel log sometimes. I understand when I'm surfing on the web. I just think what we have planned for this year is an all-encompassing gift. And I think for families, for men, for women, for singles, for couples, the idea is that there is an embracing community energetic that I believe the villa wants to impart. And there's a lot of wisdom and knowledge there in many, many fields. So between everything that we're offering and the villa itself, it's a place to come out of the chaos of the United States, for sure, out of the chaos of whatever country you're arriving from, to slow down and really feel your breath and feel the beauty and feel what wants to emerge. And that's my excitement about Tuscany, and seeing people and meeting people on Facebook that have been to these places, and they are sensing there's something new coming. So that's exciting for me.
This is my third year, and I feel like this year is like a cumulative effect, that the magic of each year is going to be like a layer, like a beautiful cake, that the foundation was laid a few years ago. And what we just glimpsed then, when, Centauri and Cesarina, we were walking through the fields around this house. We didn't know where we were going. We were just meandering around the estate. And this beautiful home had these rose bushes all around and different varieties of colors. And we were just so in awe, and we stopped. And I can never forget the, Centauri or Cesarina's hand reaching out for this beautiful red rose. And that was one piece of that trip. That was a discovery that is going to return this year, but even in more magnificence because of the timing. This is going to be in spring, in late spring. And so we're going to see even more of the glory of nature than we did in June or July of the last 2 years. And so that is one layer of the cake. And, last year we got on a bus and we went to the thermal baths, and we went to the Mediterranean Sea, and we brought in the element of water. So we engaged with nature that way, and we immersed ourselves for over an hour in the Mediterranean, and we enjoyed the tarot garden and all of those delights. And, that sense of adventure is going to be there this year as well. This year, we're going to go to Assisi. And the first year we went to Siena, which again was magnificent. It was a beautiful hilly city with cobblestones. We went to the St. Catherine Sanctuary, which was absolutely mystical, really, for many of us that experienced things. I know Centauri and I had our experiences, and all of you did as well. And when we just touched things, and we touched history, but it became reality. It became present in our soul. This year we're going to do a similar thing, but this is a different energy. Assisi is a different energy, and yet that sense of adventure, of getting on a bus together as a group and going to a sacred site, is going to be there, but amplified, because each year, the second layer, now the third layer, is going to be even higher energy. So we're just adding more and more every year that we go. And now you're speaking of this other possibility as well, of this amphitheater. So who knows? And, we like to be able to schedule certain things that we can rely on that we know we're going to experience, but there's so much in between that. There's so many ingredients that are being added as we go, with the guests and you all contributing to the energy that's going into this beautiful creation, that we really don't know until we get there and experience and taste it for ourselves what this delicious cake is going to feel like, because it's going to be so layered. It's going to be so different for each person even. And my reasons for going may be different than someone else's. Someone else may be going through some kind of transition in their life and they just want to get away. For me, I'm just adding to the experiences I've had and amplifying them. So I'm not really searching for anything. I'm just receiving more of what I know is there and what I know is inside of me. I'm drawn as well in some ways to the St. Francis energy. I know Catherine and I often resonate on things like Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, and St. Francis. And you don't have to be a Catholic to resonate with these things. These things are eternal. These energies are eternally graceful and present and part of our creation. So the gifts that we receive there, that's what we call the mystical element of our trip. We really can't predict. It's like a union with something so magnificent that we can't plan that. And if we could plan it, it wouldn't be miraculous. It wouldn't be mystical, would it? So it has to a little bit surprise you. It has to knock you off your feet a little. It has to be so remarkable that you'll never forget it. And that, I can promise you, will occur for each person in their own special way. Because each person is calling to this in their own unique way. So, yeah, I just feel that it's accumulating and building and growing. And even our relationship as a team has become more enriched because we know each other more. We know each other's gifts. And I know, for example, that Centauri has magnificent gifts to offer with his writing and his dragon energy and his ability to empower somebody in the moment. And have them touch the very essence of themselves and be completely unlimited. That is one of Centauri's gifts. And I know that Cesarina, in her grace and her beauty and her loveliness, she has an ability to touch the inner child of somebody and, kind of kiss their soul in the most delicate way that makes them giggle and feel delighted. And Catherine is so remarkable in her power and her energies with her working with nature and with the elements, as well as with the cosmic energies, a really unlimited and very powerful energy. And I love to reach inside of someone and basically remove anything that is in your way and elevate you to your very highest possibility. And I use many things to do that. And I love to work in workshops and just get people moving in ways they've never done and feeling things they've never felt. And I just believe that this is a community where all of that comes together so beautifully. Cesarina, do you have anything wonderful to add?
Well,
you always do.
You talked about the adventures. So the adventures are unlimited according to, they're infinite according an expression according to what you are ready to experience when you get there. From those beautiful fields. Well, for me this year, like you said, there are layers. There's a new layer coming in with the nature, because now we have been there on roses or blooming, kind of like towards the end of blooming season. And then we have been there when there are hardly any roses blooming, which is this summer in July. And then here we go when they're actually, it's an explosion of the fragrance and scent, and the senses opening and bursting from within us of the experience of the delight of love and life. So here we're going to go where the puppy flower, I keep when I tell people red puppies, they said, "Oh, we imagine these little red puppies embarking in the fields." The flower, the red puppy, going through the, that to me, it's a new layer that I haven't experienced yet in Tuscany. So looking at these pictures, and if you go on the Tuscany site, Catherine wrote poem for them, for the flowers and the vibration that they hold. So she can speak to that as well in a little bit. So you've got that that whole passion, or the fiery monkey. Here we go. Today is the first day. So you got the fiery passion of being alive, being in tune with your expression of who you are here on this earth right now, your star soul expression coming into an earthly body. So, and just the joy and the purity and then the delight of that. Then you've got the roses, who are all about the cosmic rose of the heart. For me, they're all about the union with yourself, the falling in love with your own God source, you know, divine source. And then you've got the jasmine, again, that we have sang to, and we have, so, you know, how do you layer all that? How do you put that all in one experience? I'm yet to find out, because I have to be with it to experience it. But to delight your senses in words and get you excited, you know, this return home to your inner child, inner source, inner delight, inner joy, has to do with being very, very open to your senses and your nature and your love of everything. So you find yourself in all of this. You find the beauty of you in all of that. You find yourself in every stroll down to the forest or around the village to the chapel, or you find yourself in a quiet moment. You find yourself petting or touching or singing to the horse. You find yourself in the swimming pool. You find yourself taking a trip in the bus. There are puzzles and pieces and sparkles of yourself that you kind of gather. So this is, for me, it's like, okay, it's time to gather all of that. There's more to gather. The pollen, the nectar, just like a bee. I call it the cosmic bee, that poem we read a while back on a different call we had with women. That keeps coming back. It was written a while back, two or 3 years back, but it's very, very timely. You know, we are the cosmic bee that gathers the nectar. We savor it in all these different ways. And it's time to really take time. It's time to take time. Yeah, it's time to take time for this. I mean, you'll have to physically show up and do this at least once a year. That was our vision. That was my vision from the beginning. I realized once a year, all these wonderful cosmic co-creators and light beings and you know, visionaries. It's okay. Come together. It's wonderful. It's more than okay to come together and expand each other and shine together and sparkle and all this. So for me, you know, it's totally very multi-layered and multi-dimensional in its expression. So we have yet, like Krista and Catherine said, to discover all the new layers. And yet we have a foundation of layers already, and just enjoy every moment of it and come as you are. You know, like Rumi says, come as you are, wanderer, worshiper of whatever. Come home. Come home into yourself, come home into the light, the place of the light, La Chiara. Come into this enchantment, and for a week forget about all this other stuff you've created that was supposedly you, that is still in a box, and it needs to break open. Keep breaking open all the molds. Yeah, to engage with the new, you have to release the old, and you can kiss it, hug it, and let it go. And so.
Mm.
And we have
to mention that you won't be doing this alone, all of the beautiful friends that you're going to make, because I know from watching these people on this trip how much they bonded and have continued to bond even a year later. So it's a lifetime trip that is going to change your world and connect you with this community for a lifetime. Catherine, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say something similar, that when people come, they meet themselves in the qualities and the beliefs, and open to new ones and new beliefs. And there's something that grows in a delicious way, in an exuberant way. And even if we come with something very deep or profound or touching that we're, as a soul, working on, as an individual working on, there is a place of lightheartedness that we can approach all things, and shifts can happen. And each one of us has so many skills, and I can really see this year that new ones have opened up to serve, especially with all the healing offerings that I posted, as each one of us posted what we would offer to the people coming, that's a calling to reinstate or to up level or to bring into a newness and an awareness, more gifts. And as you spoke so eloquently, Krista, about the sacred that's within each of us, it's not a religion. It's an honoring of what we have created on this planet, what we have learned as souls incarnate in the human race, of what we can be and express beyond the bounds and the limitations and the boxes and the mindsets that have seemed to win the power of fear over love. And even, I mean, I'll say it today because I'm not sure who here may have watched the Super Bowl. I did. And I'll say that when you have that many thousands of people and millions of people watching, and you put on Coldplay as a band of which uses flowers, which uses incredible seeds of life and flowers of life and comments, there is a power that is merging, and it takes every opportunity to open and awaken, and in a exuberant way according to your tastes. And we haven't mentioned how delicious the biodynamically grown food is in La Chiara. The people, the staff who come together there and have for years are very versed from many countries. There's France, there's Italy, there's Czechoslovakia, there's Romania, there's a few other extras that come through that are even a mystery to us as to where they're from. But they come and they feed you and they nurture you and they nourish you. And sometimes you can't do that yourself, by yourself in your own house, until you've tasted it, until you understand what the gift is that the ancient ones of Italy, or the Renaissance, the artists, the culture is just calling to deliver. I know that, and I say this with great humility, I know that the staff loves when we gather. Mm-hmm. There's something that expands them as well. And I think that we all come in the leadership to help open those doors for all of you who are listening to this and all of you who feel that desire to come. And so I empower you to ask the questions that you need answered, to feel the power within yourself, to actually take action and to do the do, so we can have a lot of fun together. Mm-hmm. And Centauri, what about you? What would you like to share on this magical day?
Well, the fire monkey wants to know, with that multi-layered cake, can we have chocolate in there? To go with the sweet nectar of Caesarina.
Bacchis, you have kisses, chocolate kisses.
Well,
the bacchi is, you know, that you can buy during the holidays mostly.
I think we come to this event, this place, this experience with our own uniqueness. We bring something to Tuscany. Tuscany opens something in us. There is a message that we respond to when we perhaps just hear the name Tuscany. For me, it's got a sense of romance about it. It has a feel of poetry in the name as well. Almost like it's something that's musically speaking to you about country and people and culture. So perhaps you listen to that music and you feel into the land, and you slowly start to get an idea about what it is that we're constructing, what this event can all be about. And I believe it's all about relationship. Relationship to self, relationship to land, to food, to each other, to this grand tapestry of life. And so I think when you get into that sense of occasion, that you're not just coming for a week to spend in the company of other like-minded people, but that you're actually landing in an experience which you don't know what the parameters of that experience are. You don't know where the experience will lead you into your open vistas of the future of your life. But somehow you know that it's going to be just right for you. Tuscany is a majestic presence. I think that if you talk about Tuscany as a being or an intelligence that has a voice, then you start to listen to what that voice tells you. and to what part you play in this week-long, what we call Adventures Unlimited, because it is unlimited. We don't tell you what is going to happen. We may give you a sense of what might happen in our own particular way, what we might set out as workshops or events or experiences. But in reality, it is you, the person who comes to Tuscany, that decides it's going to be in this particular way because you yourself are looking, you're seeking, wanting something to happen. And boy, are we going to give it to you, whatever it is. We in Tuscany are going to show you something amazing, wondrous. And all we have to do is come there with open arms and say, I'm here. Come and feed me with it.
Me too.
And we will.
It's like when I think of Tuscany, the word that just came, I was sitting here and listening to all of you and just so enjoy just delicious, expanded joy when I think of returning to Tuscany. And the word is just, it's lighted. It's so lighted. Everything, the food, the people, just if you say good morning here, you can light it because we are who we are. However, it's just anybody in Italy, that in Tuscany, buongiorno, just this infusion from the moment you wake up. The colors are completely different. I'm not an artist in this lifetime, but I appreciate the value of light and colors. And I've been many beautiful places. I haven't experienced it unless maybe the Tetons. But that's a different kind of light, I cannot imagine anyone coming that wouldn't be infused with this light. Mm-hmm. It's different than other places, and once you have it, you have it. Mm-hmm. Maybe it might cloud over at some point with the experience you're going through, but it's always there and it can always be ignited again. The joy of life that is there. In the simplest things, you don't need a lot there to feel the joy of life. You just walk on the ground and you absorb it, so.
And truly, it is the joy of life, the La Dolce Vita that we've created in our media and in our stories and our poetry. And yet it's everywhere on earth, and it's being anchored and expressed and expanded by creating this quantum field at La Chiara, isn't it, Cesarina? Mm-hmm. It was Cesarina's dream to do this as a community, as a place where people from the entire globe could come and realize a nuance, a new energy of creating that joyful life. We are all moving into conscious creating, and we, as conscious creators, no longer shame or blame or this or that. And that is a transition. That is a transformation of thought and perception. And Krista has all of us have incredible gifts to open those frequencies so that you see with the joy of life, with the expression of peace, with the movement of energy, really all those filters, all those perspectives that may no longer serve you, that you're looking for something different, that joy of life that's unique to you, that expression can be awoken, can be remembered. It's always there, it's always fueling. Certainly the fire monkey will help find the funny fire of things instead of the incredible passions that we can find ourselves in. And I think that if we could, Krista, right now do a brief focus of energy for shifting those illusions of abundance, those illusions of airline tickets, those illusions of things that are getting in people's way. And if, Racine, if you could be the focal point, then perhaps, because you're a visitor on this call, perhaps we can amplify for everyone then a clear light.
Yes.
Just like La Chiara, that can see them through those old perceptions that they expressed or they made up or they accepted.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, let's close our eyes. So what I'm getting or sensing in is, I think of the earth as sort of a brown energy, like a very grounded energy, okay? So let's say that we're all very grounded. We can sense and feel that we're very connected to the earth. And part of being a part of the earth plane is that we have to deal with obstacles. We have to deal with things that perhaps we don't want to always deal with, or we see them as obstacles, because on the physical plane, it can be like that. So let's just take a deep breath. And just imagine our feet touching the ground. Except this time, instead of wearing hard, clunky shoes or walking to work or doing the normal things that we have to do, let's imagine our barefoot feet on a beach, seeping into the sand, just squishing our toes in the sand just so gently. And imagine the golden sand just receiving your feet with a kind of cushioning and support. A beautiful, warm feeling just coming through your body. And in the distance, you might hear the waves gently coming in. And in the distance, you may sense a golden sunset, a beautiful, striking golden sunset, much as we would see in Tuscany, but a color that I cannot describe. And you don't just see the sunset with your eyes, because you can close your eyes and feel it. Feel the warmth on your skin. Feel the feeling like a mother's love coming down over you and drenching you in beauty and support. Imagine the most gentle hand reaching out to you and feeling it clasp your hand to walk with you on this beach. Now breathe in the beautiful air and feel the tranquility that this day brings, that this support, this hand, this stranger who has reached for you feels so familiar, feels so safe, feels so loving. It defies logic. It defies understanding, but it feels in your heart real and alive. Breathe that into your heart space. And just be willing to receive that knowing that something is there within you, inside of you, and all around you. Something is reaching for you to make your steps easier, to make them lighter, softer, more gentle. And that you don't always have to know where you're going and exactly what time and when. That all those details, all of those mundane events, all of those practicalities will be dealt with in due time. The moment that you allow yourself to receive the gift of alignment with your source, with the love inside of your heart, with the joy that is possible, even though you may not know what that feels like yet. Something inside of you does know, and something inside of you does call you now to receive it. Just feel that, because that is real. That is more real than when you open your eyes and see your bills in front of you, or see that you have to go and get your keys and get in the car and go somewhere. This is just as real and more than any of those things that need to be done. And guess what? It all gets done with this. This gift is what allows that to happen. This is what gives you the strength. This is what gives you the feeling that I can. This is what gives you that feeling like, I just know something's up and I have to do this. I don't know why. Just feeling this. And I just know somehow it's all going to work out. Because guess what it is? Because there is no way that you could be drawn to this and not be supported. Not only by us as a team, but by yourself, your own soul, and all of that surrounds you. That golden light that is all around you. And those beautiful roses, the love that exudes from the planet itself, all around you. Just look into the beings in front of you. Just glance and see the love that exudes from every being in this room that we are sharing right now. And tell me, how does it feel to be so supported and loved? Just remember that. When you're making choices, remember that. Take a deep breath and return to this space and then decide. What will you have? What will you share? What will you create with us, with others? What will your life be like when you let love be the answer to all of your problems? As it says in the Super Bowl halftime, the shock on a planet that is filled with so much chaos, believe in love. If it's possible for a football game to broadcast such a message, it's possible for you to be in Tuscany with us.
Beautiful. And so it is.
And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen.
Tuscany is calling.
What do you mean it's calling? We're already there. We are timeless beings that can anywhere, at any time. So we just
multi-layered cake baked with magic and sprinkled with mystery, and somewhere there's going to be chocolate.
Iced with
promise you chocolate, and we will go to the local village and get you some if we can't find it. And we did last time, didn't we? We shared a large, beautiful bar at our dining table.
Well, I don't think we've missed anything, have we?
Well, we haven't spoken about the magic cosmic ball and how it's important to us. So
we forget.
whether it's someone's birthday during the week of 23rd of May or 29th, it doesn't matter if they could have a birthday. I know a few friends who want to come to Tuscany, and they told me their birthday is that week. So whether it's their birthday or not, we birth and celebrate ourselves in very magical, high style, with music outside on the platform, with masks from Venice that we purchased ourselves in Florence at the markets, at the open air markets. And we dress up in magical clothing and whatever makes you feel like, the pure, sheer, joyful, there we go.
Gods and goddesses.
Gods and goddesses that you are. And, we had children in the past as well. So we had a family or several, we had the two younger boys, we had children that came and joined us from the village. So whether they're children, adults, men, women, it doesn't matter. We're all there with our magical, clothing and mask and beauty and mystery around us, and with the nature, with the trees that sway and dance with us, and with the balloons and the party, and we keep going till we can't dance anymore, till our feet hurt. And we dance that new, all the play and all the new energy that we brought, and we're offering to the world together and co-creating. We're actually dancing it, but anchoring it into the new earth again and again and again. That's what we do when we move it through the body. So it's very important. And what we didn't mention was every day there's that fusion of the invisible world of magic with the visible world of the body. So we wake up, we stretch, we wake up, we sit quietly, we feel things, we allow the emotions to feed us into the next, like Krista said, the next layer of, or a version of what wants to come forth. We blend it in such a way that the body, mind, spirit, energy, cosmic self, everything is absolutely layered in that cake that we
Catherine.
everything is layered in that cake so well and mixed in so well that it's there we go. There's a painting of course as well. We actually did paint this past summer. It was amazing. We had Teresa who helped us, who's a great painter, and then the first year when we were there, Jody was there, but we didn't paint, and she was able to capture, which we can share, her beautiful paintings that she's doing now from the actual photographs she took of the roses in Tuscany. So here there are actual practical examples of how people or beings go in and sip the nectar of Tuscany and transform it into something else.
Pretty.
And there's another beautiful Tuscan rose. Yeah, I mean, the rose and the fragrance of your own heart is, as you know, filled with potential to express anything and everything. So once you show there, you show up there, it might be, for me, it's poetry a lot, and dance and movement, and the yoga practice and the inner child work. So I might express it that way every day, or I might express it differently. I might have moments when I just need to lie down and look at the stars at night and do nothing for a while, or just have my little pad of paper and write a poem in the olive tree grove behind the actual villa, or in the garden itself. So it shows up for you. It shows up for you as you walk through, step by step, this journey that is not only physical. The journeys we take are not only linear, physical, and in time and space. They're at the same time happening in all spaces and all dimensions. So you are actually pulling and picking and gathering all those shiny pieces again of like the tarot garden had glass mirrors everywhere. There was one little exhibit there, or a big exhibit of the Empress, I believe, Chris, that wasn't as called Empress, and you went into this big, huge mirror house of mirrors, I think they called it. And it's like that. They took little pieces of mirrors and they were able to put them together. So when you go in there, it was so shiny and so marvelous, and you looked at yourself and you see different parts of yourself showing different pieces of the wall, and you marvel and you think, wow, this is wild. How did this, who thought of this? Just like that, you thought of this because your source within has thought it out way ahead, and it's calling you and saying, hello, let's come have fun and pull those pieces together to fall in love again, to see the beauty.
I'd also like to add just briefly to that, Cesarina, that you touched on, is that we will be doing circle kind of work together as a group every day in different ways. So each of us bring different gifts as leaders, and you will be engaging in group work with us in group, as well as we are offering private work as well. And that's included in the price in terms of having an hour or so. It could be a casual by the pool. It could be in the chapel. It could be in some private little beautiful nook in nature that you found. And we can work with you one-on-one and bring out your just beauty and love and what you want and wish for your life, and help you experience it in that moment and anchor it very strongly, so that when you return home, you will be more empowered and you will remember very deeply what you gained in Tuscany, both personally as well as a collective.
And the inspiration is for you, and it's also for your practical daily life. There is a lifestyle balance that's being honored, and it's being ignited, and it's being blended in Tuscany. And I can feel that. And I believe that the invitation is, I believe in love and I receive Tuscany.
Absolutely. As a parent, I can say it changes how I parent. It affects everything that I do in my practical daily life. And the Gifts of Tuscany went far beyond the trip. So it isn't just about being in Tuscany. It's about, like Catherine said, activating the energies of that within yourself so that when you return to your life, you're not the same. And you're bringing that with you and impacting everyone around you in such a profound way. You're impacting and rippling that effect, like the butterfly effect. You're rippling that all over the place. The people at your work, the people in your life, your family, your friends, your loved ones, your clients. They're going to sense there's something different about you. What have you been doing? What happened? They want to know what your story is, because guess what? You're going to have these rich, powerful stories to tell, and you're not going to be the same person. You're going to become a teacher of life just by being there with us.
I opened up the page because I wanted to show everyone that they can find out. Can you all see the pictures that are opening on the screen?
Yes.
Yes, it's lovely. And the slideshow of some of our memories and some of the magical moments we've already lived there. If you go to Mystical Tuscany Retreat.weebly.com, or simply go to Facebook and look up Mystical Tuscany Retreat, we have a whole page. And that page keeps adding and evolving and adding visuals and inspirations and links. And I just saw Peter in the tea room.
That's our tea room, yeah.
The beautiful gatherings in the tea room every evening or whenever we need to do particular workshops. And then I see the pool, and I see the wonderful view at the pool of the Tuscan Hills, which is really incredible. And then us bathing in the sun and just being, absorbing all that goodness. And then, of course, we see all our goddesses and gods and goddesses dressed in white, celebrating in the roses here. So all you have to do is go check it out, message us privately or on Facebook, and get excited about this. We do have special pricing still, I think, online here. Catherine, if you want to speak to that.
As of today, we had put a new moon energetic, and I think that we could, as a group, decide how long we keep that gift going. And the thing about all of us as leaderships, we are always being inspired to be the abundance that we are, and to be encouraging your abundance and seeing that you might check this page out. There might be another surprise shortly. We'll see. But certainly after today's meditation, know that it is your power of love and your power of God-given abundance, your source abundance, to manifest this trip if it's your calling. We welcome you with open arms and with pure delight as to what shall transpire in Tuscany. It is exciting for us to be inspired, and as each person registers, more inspiration comes, and that's it.
And Tari, anything else before we close, or even my Racine?
Break open the piggy bank. I was going to say to Racine, she said that she's not an artist in this lifetime. Well, I think if you can appreciate the colors and of the foods and the people, then you are an artist of some sort. You might say a visionary artist
Of life.
I agree. I didn't say it, but I was thinking of painting, you know, the colors of painting.
We do painting as well.
I do
always attract wonderful creators that can bring that talent.
There's a magic in coloring.
Yes,
you have to look at the dimensions of painting, because we paint, yes, as an activity and color and have fun, and yet we paint with our own soul expression every moment together on the canvas of Tuscany. And then how else do we paint? We paint on the collective consciousness. We paint our masterpiece of our beingness, which is a very distinct imprint here. So everything is we are soul artists, you know, we are visionary artists, we are cosmic artists, we're artists. Just because we have decided to come into this physicality, we're artists. You know, who decided to come into that physicality had to have a lot of courage to be able to express. So and seek that freedom through the physical journey. And so totally embracing that artist within in Tuscany.
Mm-hmm.
So there you have it.
It was wonderful to have the call together.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope to hear from many of you listening to this call.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we will share this with everyone. And wanted to take a moment to, actually, I don't know if I can find it in here, but I put it on. I wanted to read the Rose poem, and if I can't find mine, Krista could read hers.
Okay, can you put it on the screen for me? Or I'll find it.
And it's so delightful for me to have dig that poem out again. I put it on my own Facebook page, I think yesterday on Sunday. And I can just, here we go. I put it on the Mystic Rose actually call. So it says, are you a good kisser? And the reason I wrote this around Valentine's Day, because it applies not just to Valentine's Day, it applies to falling in love with yourself. Are you a good kisser? When each morning finds you awake and ready to take in the fragrance of yet another day in this body form, each petal of your heart rose trembles with delight, allowing the beloved, the breath of life, to pass through and gently kiss the edges of each petal within this heart rose of yours. Did you know that with each inhalation, you are being kissed from within, and then the beloved waits? So tell me now, are you a good kisser? And are you ready to exhale the magic that you have been given in each of those 20,000 breaths that you take in each day? A good kisser of life cannot count how many times over their heart melts into lava of joy with just one glimpse of the beloved.
Beautiful.
So be a good kisser of life and of your own self, and honor that relationship, that love relationship with that first, and then miracles just happen, right? Santari, right? I mean, everyone knows here that they know what that means. So
Find out.
I see the dragon.
I was going to say,
Come to Tuscany and meet your own dragon.
Yes, very true.
Get to love your own dragon.
Yes, very true. That does happen there as well. Thank you. I met my own dragon there as well. Yes.
And that's another story.
And that's another story.
All right.
Well, we'll wish everyone a wonderful fire monkey year filled with magic, and stay in touch, stay connected.
Yes.
Until next time,